Hi guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be making a set of 3 bowls. I decided to make a set of 3 bowls because I have these 2 really close friends and they are both coming into town soon, and so I just wanted to make some bowls that I can decorate and have a little girls night. So if you guys are ever wanting to have like a girls night or anything, this is a perfect option. You can just make some bowls, and then when they come they can just put a little bit of underglaze, or they can choose their glaze, or however you want to do that. But that's what I decided to do, to make some cute little friendship bowls. As you can see, I centered the clay and I worked my way in, and now I am slowly pulling those walls up. I am making these like a more rounded bowl. I really like that rounded shape, so I'm working it really slowly. This clay is super duper soft, so I am being super careful as I pull those up, and am leaving a bit of thickness at the bottom just because I have pulled it pretty thin before, and it does not like me. It is so soft. When I mean soft, it's like the softest clay I've ever touched in my life, but at the same time it also feels like butter. So there are some pros and cons to this clay. I am using the Iceman. I can leave that in the description below if you guys want. As you can see, I'm drying my hands off, getting ready to take that bowl off the wheel. I put some water down on the bottom and wired it off, so that way it just comes right off when I pull it off with my hands, which is perfect. Now I'm getting my wheel ready for my next bowl. I just go ahead and do the same process, center it, and then I'm going to work my way into the clay and slowly work those walls up. Again, I am going super slow just because this is quite a soft clay, and so I am being super careful. Normally I can do this in about 3 pulls, but as you can see, it is a lot more than 3 pulls because I am so nervous with this clay, and sometimes I feel like it comes out into my work just because I'm so nervous to work with it. I'm more used to working with a groggier clay or a grittier clay. I know a lot of people hate that, but I actually really love it just because it gives the clay a lot more stability and a lot more room to work with it. I like to play around with my pieces because a lot of times I just jump right into my piece. I don't plan it beforehand, and sometimes that can lead to me playing around with it too much, and I feel like with this clay I cannot play around with it, or else it just collapses everywhere. So if you guys like to play around your clay, I definitely don't recommend this clay. But here I am throwing my 3rd bowl. They all do look pretty similar. I did this all in one sitting just because if you want to have pretty similar bowls, you want to make sure you have time to throw them all at once. I tend to notice that if I throw one bowl one day and then the next day I throw another bowl and the next day I throw another bowl, they all have different shapes, even though I try so hard to look at it. And it's easier because you can measure your rims and how tall it is as you're sitting there, and so you don't need to take down any measurements. I know that sounds a bit lazy, but it's just something I like to do, and I just think it's easier to work with all 3 of them at once. If you're not a type of person who has very much time when they throw pottery, I definitely don't recommend that. Maybe just write down all your measurements. I know it's hard, but if you don't have a lot of time, you can definitely write it all down. But this is just typically what I recommend, is just sit down and throw all of them all at once. Like if you're throwing a set of mugs or something, or a set of bowls or a set of plates, I would recommend sitting down with all your clay already wedged up and just having a big throwing process. And for me, for example, I wanted to throw 3 bowls, but I ended up this was off camera, I ended up throwing 4 bowls off camera because you always need room for leeway for mistakes, because you never know what's going to happen to the clay. So here I am now trimming my bowls and getting them all ready. I am making a bit of a foot. It's like a rounded foot. It's almost like a rounded straight foot, and I am going in and carving a little bit off the top and on the sides just to kind of thin it down. Like I said earlier, I did make it a bit thicker on the bottom just because it does tend to collapse really easy because it is really soft and buttery, which is really nice for throwing because it doesn't hurt, you don't get calluses from it or anything, and you don't have to use very much water. As you can see, my wheel stays pretty clean. I can just wipe it with my sponge afterwards, just because like I don't need to use a lot of water. I know with my other clays with a lot more grog in it, I do tend to use a lot more water, but this clay I really don't. As you can see, I am done trimming this one. I am just going to take my middle rib and just pop that right off, and I am using the tap center. I don't know if I quite tap center, but I definitely like put water down and I center it. It's definitely not tap centered, but I like center it on my own, kind of like clay. I just kind of push it until it goes in and it sticks to the bat with the friction. And I'm just doing the same on this one. Like I said with the clay, with throwing, same thing with trimming. I do like to trim all of it all at once. So here I am I'm trimming all of them. If you notice, my outfit doesn't change through the entire trimming process, but it did change from throwing to trimming, just because you have to have your clay sit and dry for a little bit. But I do like to trim all of my bowls all at the same time, just so they all have that same similar look, and that way it's just easier for your brain to remember how you did that last one. So here I am just going in and I'm trimming that foot, that little bit off the top. I think it's so satisfying to watch those little trimmings pop off. But yeah, if you guys have any recommendations on how we should decorate these, or what we should do with them, if we should eat some cereal in them, or what you think we should do, please leave a comment down below. If you guys have a suggestion for things that you guys want me to make in the future or to create future videos on, please let me know down in the comments below. I do love hearing from you guys. I really enjoy it and I really appreciate it. If you guys have any ideas for me, please let me know. I'm always trying to look for new and fun ideas. I'm always on Instagram scrolling to see if I can find something unique, because I feel like it's just fun to have unique videos. I feel like you go on YouTube and you just go and look for mugs, bowls, but I want something fun. If you guys have any fun ideas, just leave a comment down below and I'll try my best to make it. But here is my last bowl. That one had a lot of excess. I do typically like to start with a bigger trimming tool when I trim, to get off all the extra flakes and anything. I know a lot of people use it's not like a cheese grater, but it looks like it. People use like a grater to get all of that excess stuff off, but I don't have one, so I am just using a big trimming tool, and these little ones to go in for more like detailed precisions and to smooth it all out. I do recommend getting a pretty sharp set though. I got a set from Amazon and it was great at first, but then it got really dull really fast. So I do recommend getting a pretty sharp set. It just makes trimming a lot easier. Alright, now we're coming to the end of this video. I am just finishing up my bowl and I'm going to pop that off with a rib. And as you can see, I'm actually using that Amazon trimming tool right now. It still kind of works. I like it because it gives it a varnished look because it's so dull. But if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a like and a subscribe. And if you guys have any ideas or things that you guys would like to see me make, don't forget to leave a comment down below. And this is the finished product, and I hope you guys liked it.